Hello ladies and gentlemen, Jarek Defiler the Patient Gamer here with another breakaway from video game talk, and rather dipping into what I think is yet another great Netflix series. Not something I say often to be honest, but here I would like to present to you the adult animated series Blue Eye Samurai Breakdown. And boy, after watching the One Piece live action adaptation, check out my review on that, I didn't expect to be hit with another Netflix series that just blew me away. Recently released on November 3rd, Blue Eye Samurai takes place during Japan's Edo period, or is it Edo? I think it's Edo. Specifically after the Tokugawa shogunate under Sakoku? I don't know, an isolationist foreign policy that appeared to have basically made Japan a prison island for its people, banning anyone from entering or exiting Japan. I am getting all this from Wikipedia, so who the hell knows if it's accurate or not, and I'm sure I'm pronouncing all these words flawlessly. Either way, great setting for a great story. And great story this is, ladies and gents, for Blue Eye Samurai captivated, intrigued, and awestruck me with its fantastic writing, awesome characters, superb animation and art style, and just all-around respect for the audience. For starters, power couple showrunners and main writers Michael Green and Amber Noizumi, I think it's Noizumi, did a phenomenal job. Green has a pretty hefty writing resume with titles such as The Great Logan, Blade Runner 2049, and Murder on the Orient Express under his belt. So he's not inexperienced here like a lot of new writers, directors, and showrunners in Hollywood seem to be as of late. So Blue Eye Samurai is mainly about Mizu, an oppressed female mixed-race ronin that is on a quest for revenge, seeking out the 4 white men who remain in Japan illegally so she can bake their brownies and butter their bread. Nah, I'm joking. She wants to massacre them all for fairly understandable reasons, to be honest. But you'll just have to watch and find out what those are, cause I'll never tell. Trying to stay light on the spoilers here. Anywho, Mizu is forced to keep her eyes covered with tinted glasses lest she become demonized for being mixed race, as well as portray herself as a man lest she become demonized for being a woman. She makes her way through the land on her hunt, meeting new people and even reluctantly taking up an apprentice. So the story isn't something super unique or special at face value, but what makes it and the writing so good is the characters and Mizu's journey. First off, I get how some people might be turned off by this description. Oppressed biracial female hunting down some white devils, as they say in the show. Sounds like some woke trash, why would I even bother? She seems like the stereotypical strong female lead nowadays that is always portrayed as some unlikable asshole that treats everybody like dirt and is constantly talking down to people. I get it, I really do. But if you have that mindset, you couldn't be more wrong. As someone who really despises woke Hollywood and writing, I can confidently say that Blue Eye Samurai is not woke in the slightest. Now for starters, Mizu is a badass female warrior who cuts up men by the dozens and throws them around like ragdolls despite appearing to be a tall but somewhat lanky woman. I can hear your eyes rolling from here. But wait, listen, this is not your everyday average woke Mary Sue. This isn't Captain Marvel or Rey Palpatine. Mizu has strong character development. Yes, she throws men around like bags of rice, but you find out that she was taken in as a child by a blacksmith and basically worked at a forge for like 12 years or something. Thus, she's a physical beast. When the audience is granted her striking form in all its glory as she bathes in a river, you discover that this is not the body of a petite little angel that was raised on rice balls and pumpkin spice sake. Quite the contrary. Her flesh is littered with scars, burns, and bruises, showing an existence of pure turmoil, abuse, and struggle. This is not a woman that just picked up a sword and became a badass. She earned it. All those years pounding ore in a forge and then practicing with swords day after day while watching and mimicking their clients' fight techniques melded her into this absolute powerhouse of a ronin that is not to be taken lightly. But here's the best part, my friends. She's flawed. She still loses on occasion in some way, and there are times when she has to even retreat. But most of the time she wins, however, not without taking a toll on her person. Yes, she will fight off like 20 to 30 guys, sometimes with the help of others, but mostly alone. But during the fight, she takes a beating. She gets cut, stabbed, pummeled, knocked out even at times. She gets battered and broken, but what makes her awesome is that she doesn't give up and keeps on fighting, ultimately winning. But after that win, she often collapses in the mud, completely drained and torn to shreds. This is a good character. This is great character development. This is damn fine entertainment, and I couldn't be happier to sing its praises. Every aspect of Mizu's awesomeness is backed up by her development. She's amazing with swords, but you learn why. She's super strong, but the series shows you how she became as such. When she uses a different weapon and is somehow great with it, the show explains that too. As far as I saw, there wasn't a single trait of hers that wasn't thoroughly explained in the show. And by explain, I mean shown, not told. These aren't long bouts of exposition from characters telling you how something is. Instead, they just show you. Brilliant. That's called good writing. But it's not all about Mizu. The other characters are all really good as well. Her blacksmith master Eiji, voiced by the iconic Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa, really helps build up Mizu's narrative. Her newfound apprentice, Ringo, is a fantastic breath of comic relief, At first, I thought he was going to be just this annoying, handy-capable representation of a stereotypical dumb, goofy sidekick. But nope, he's actually fairly fleshed out and really smart. He also has some skills like being extremely stealthy despite his size, or being able to concoct medicines and do really well at cooking. And, without any spoilers here, as the season progresses, he even becomes a bit of a moral compass for our beloved Ronin. There's also Princess Akemi, who is basically the polar opposite of Mizu. Being a princess, Akemi was born and bred in luxury. She always wanted for nothing and as a result is somewhat naive to the outside world. That said, she too has her struggles. When her dream wedding is called off because Mizu beats her fiancé in a duel, Akemi is then arranged to wed another. So she runs away but finds the world to be a treacherous place. However, she uses her smarts and womanly wiles, doesn't give up, and gets to her destination. And again, this isn't some Mary Sue moment because the show explains how she became so smart due to her hiding in the library from her father while she read all these books throughout her childhood. Again, character development, yay! Where Mizu shows the plight of women in this brutal, feudal times on a street level, Akemi shows the plight of women in the upper class and how their lack of freedom forces them into servitude to their fathers and husbands. And again, I can hear your eyes rolling from here, I get it, but don't let that synopsis fool you. This is very well written and shown very tastefully. Not all the men in Blue Eye Samurai are evil pieces of shit. In fact, most aren't. There are many who help Mizu and Akemi. Ringo, for instance, saves Mizu from death several times, always protecting her after she has a big fight and can't go on anymore. And he's the only one that knows she's a woman. Maybe her blacksmith master Eiji does too, I'm not sure. Taigen, Akemi's fiancé that Mizu defeats, is another great character that has a nice arc of his own, where he goes from bullying Mizu since they were children to refusing to spill any information about her under immense torture. He also helped her in time of need, albeit just so he could keep her alive to do her later, but there's a mutual respect there that grows. Even Akemi's tutor, Seki, or is it Sekai? You know, given that I just watched the series in its entirety, you think I know how to pronounce these names, but I still don't because I'm a moron. Either way, voiced by George Takei, Seki has a lot of reasonable qualities despite being paramount in selling Akemi off in marriage. At the end of the day though, you can sense that he truly cares about her and all his actions were for her well-being. In his mind anyways. And there's plenty of other great characters to be entertained by, especially the villains. The artwork and animation are really awesome too. They kind of give me Arcane vibes, another phenomenal Netflix show, go watch it if you haven't, where you have this mix between 3D and 2D animation. I know nothing about the animation process, so not sure what it's called, but it looks really cool. Especially these scenes where drugs are involved and many pretty colors and shapes come forth. So yeah, I really dig the aesthetic. The fight scenes are all pretty damn awesome. Sure, some of them are a bit over the top and unbelievable, but I love anime, and although this isn't anime, I have no problem suspending my disbelief. I like over-the-top stuff if it's done well, like John Wick, One Piece, or Mad Max Fury Road. And Blue Eye Samurai does it very well. The fight scenes are just fun, extremely lavish and very much a spectacle, and really, really violent and gory. Which brings me to my next point. Blue Eye Samurai does what I perhaps appreciate most in my entertainment mediums. It treats me like an adult. It treats you like an adult. Don't be fooled because of its art style or it being a cartoon. This show is not one for the kids. There is blood, there is gore, there is sex, nudity, even these grotesque fetishistic elements shown in specialty brothels. But it's all done respectfully. This show respects you, the audience. These scenes aren't simply there for shock value or to be controversial. They actually have a purpose in the grand narrative, and they don't care if they offend anybody. That I respect. Let the audience decide what they will or will not watch. Don't coddle us or treat us with kid gloves. We can handle it. We're big boys and girls. And Blue Eye Samurai is very much like Spartacus on Stars, another one of my favorite shows. They just take all this blood, gore, violence, sex, nudity, drugs, alcohol, perverse acts, and put it on a pristine, jewel-encrusted silver platter and shove it in your face saying, "Take it or leave it." Well, Blue Eye Samurai, I will take it, and with a smile. For Blue Eye Samurai is a fantastic original work that entertained me to no end, and even got me into a wiki dive on female warriors during the feudal Japan days that fought alongside samurai. I had no idea about these lovely ladies and probably never would have if I hadn't seen this show. So thanks, Blue Eye Samurai. There you have it, ladies and gents. Blue Eye Samurai, the San Francisco treat without all the needles and poo. Highly recommend you give it a go if you're okay with violence, gore, sex, and whatnot in your cartoons. I know I am. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and share this video with someone you love. This has been Jarek Defiler, loving our blue-eyed Ronin. You all have a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night depending on where you are. Take it easy.